Mic check, test, test. Hey, welcome to. I always want to say have your best week ever when I go live here on a weeknight. It's nothing special, but hey, no, really, we're going to be really just sharing about the power of planning, and that's what we're going to be teaching on a little bit. But let's get set up and get going here, and well, let's get a little background other than the green, and hey, let's do it. Boom, right. All right, so let's hit record and as they say down in the country. Hey, we cooking with grease now. Hey, welcome to just a I guess you can call it a Tuesday night kickoff here as we count down to our strategic planning summit. Excuse me, there as we. I'm sorry. Hey, this is Howard White, and we're getting ready to kick off or launch off to our strategic planning summit, which is next week, and we're going to be live with some heavyweights. Dr. George C. Frazier, Howard Partridge, scheduled to come join us, and several others that are. Willie Jolly, Dr. Jolly is going to spend some time with us. Hey, I just want to say, hey, we'll see who we got on today. Hey, we got Danny Edwards. Hey, thanks a lot for jumping on, Danny. Gregory Allen. Hey, Michael LeBlanc. Hey, good to see you, man. Hope all is well as you're over in Lafayette area. But as we begin to think about and kick off this new year, I think it's going to be critical and key that you plan. That's right, you plan, and then you make the plan happen. So it's two pieces to it: planning and then not procrastinating. That's right, planning and then not procrastinating. So hey, we're going to spend that time with you on it and really dive through it and just talk about a few things this evening as we got some notes here that I put together. My gosh, my team got me working, planning more as we work on things going forward. And so I think that's something very key. But just a little bit about myself. Hey, who is Howard? You ask who Howard is. Well, Howard, he's a person to help others win and realize dreams. That's what I do. I help others win and realize dollars. That's what I do, and that's who I am. But really, how do I do that? I worked as a coach and a trainer that help people see things different. So first, help them to realize, and then help them to live lives in their business. Well, then as I talk about it, people often ask me, man, well, Howard, how do you do that? I mean, how does that actually manifest? Well, I think one of the things that's key in any business is finding those leverage points, finding those leverage points and asking yourself, what about those leverage points? How can I maximize the leverage points to drive my business and anything that you're doing and everything that you're doing in your business, there are leverage points to make things more effective, more efficient. And oftentimes it takes an outside eye to help you see those things. And so one of the things that helps a lot is spending time planning. That's right. Spending time planning. That's right. Investing time. You're not wasting time. You're investing time. When I look at, I would say all my successes, the majority of them came because I put the time in planning. Yeah, I put the time in planning. As an engineer in college, and they taught you that all the time, and then as a person in the professional area, oftentimes we as entrepreneurs, small business owners, in today's pace, hey, we're just going, 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 going. So we're not spending time planning and structuring things out. And so as I look back this past year, and I look back the clients I work with, the successes have been built on the plan. That's right. The successes have been built on the plan. And that's where it came from. It's two pieces to the equation. Well, really three pieces. First, you have to realize the dream, number one. And then number two, you must develop the plan. And then number three, you must execute on the plan. And so that's what I challenge you to do. That's the whole concept of the Strategic Planning Summit. That's right. That simple. Strategicplanningsummit.com. So we got a few people jumping on here. Hey, Greg, I said Gregory Allen, you still on? Hey, James Hillard. Hey, long time no talk to. Got to make sure we connect. Hey, Willie, good to see you this evening, man. Hope all is well. But when you think about that, you ask yourself why people fail to plan. Why is it that people fail to plan? Well, I don't know if there's any one reason, but I started thinking about this as I was planning for this call, planning to share this with you. You know, I just think a lot of people do it because they're unclear on the next step. They're fearful of the next step. Sometimes that's fear of what? The past. That's fear of the future. That's fear of success. Yes. If I am successful, then there are other things that I got to do. And so you begin to sometimes allow that fear to prevent you from moving forward. You allow that fear to prevent you from investing time in planning. One of the things that I've started doing, and that's the reason we started Have Your Best Week Ever, is really working with our clients and helping them plan. And so one of the things that part of planning is holding you accountable, is being accountable. And that's one of the things that we're incorporating into our signature program, 91 Day Game Plan. But don't, that's something that's very key. A couple other reasons I found is that, they feel they don't have enough time. We talked about that rush pace, go, 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 go. And sometimes we have to really pull back, really pull back. So if you would, as you're listening tonight, I want you to just type in the feed, which one prevents you from planning? Is it time? Is it knowledge? I didn't mention knowledge and procrastination. Those are two others. So there's 6 things. But is it the fear factor, fear of the unknown, fear of the past, fear of success? Which one is it? It could just be simple time. May have too much on your plate, or just things may be coming at you. But most commonly, what is it that prevents you from planning? So I want you to begin to believe that, to think about that as yourself and ask yourself, hey, what is it that keeps me from planning? Hey, Cedric Rogers, good to see you. Eugene Collins, man, thanks for jumping on. Hope things, we're talking about planning, and you're just taking over here locally, the NAACP. So, there's a lot of planning that goes into some of the things you do. And sometimes, you have to react, but have a plan in place. So you can have a plan in place. So when you do have to react, I think that probably be the best way to look at it from that standpoint, man. But so as you think about it is that it really boils down to our mindset and our belief system. What is it that you truly believe? What is it that you truly feel in yourself? Asking yourself, do I control the situation? A lot of times people don't plan because they truly feel that they don't have that internal locus of control. And that's simply saying is that you determine the outcome, not external factors, but you determine the outcome. Whereas that belief factor as the external locus of control, you believe that what happened will happen, that you don't have any control. So why plan? And I was reading an article as last week as we was about this, and the majority of the individuals are not comfortable in the belief that they can achieve their goals or that they have control over their lives. If you're that person, I want to challenge those thoughts tonight. That's what I want to do. I want to challenge those thoughts tonight. And that's one of the reasons why we have the Strategic Planning Summit coming up, to help people see about the summit. Some of the calls are pre-recorded, and had a chance to sit down with Dr. George C. Fraser. He has an event called the Power Networking Conference, which is one of the top 5 must-go-to conferences as ranked by Forbes magazine. And I think that is, just Forbes magazine's top ranked, not African American, not Hispanic, not Caucasian, but top 5 conferences. And so had a chance to attend, actually helping out with it in Houston. But we talked about how does he strategically go after it and plan it each year. And he showed how he breaks it down into quarters, and then taking other things that we're doing and breaking them down into quarters. That's right, breaking them down into quarters. So I want to challenge you to think about this from your standpoint and asking you, what are you doing to plan your activities. What are you doing to plan the goals that you have? Do you have a plan for this week? Do you have a plan for tomorrow? Well, hopefully, after this call, you don't start tomorrow without first committing to paper. Okay. That's what our have our best week ever is about is really helping you plan for the week. But now here we are in today. So I want to challenge you to plan for today in the sense of, plan for tomorrow by committing to paper tonight. So as we talk about this, the power of planning, I think it's very key that you first own why you don't plan like you should. And maybe you do. And if you do, just simply say, hey, Howard, I'm a great planner. I make it happen. It does. No problem. We're okay with that. And so as you think back through that here, I want to give you some questions to ask yourself, when you begin to plan. I want you, and these questions really help you to know and understand yourself. That's right. Help you know and understand yourself. Number one, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? What is it that you truly love to do? Not just what you're good at, but what are you truly passionate about? Okay. So begin to think about that and those things that really spark your interest where it doesn't take any motivation. You will just do it. You do it with maximum energy. With minimum energy, but maximum effort. So think about that. Think about that, what it is. Hey, Larry Henderson, good to see you this evening. Chauncey Collins, hey, man, glad you're able to jump on. And Paula Verrett, good to see you this evening as you're watching up in the nation capital. But you think about that, ask, where am I at right now? That's number two. Think about where are you right now? Because, see, the only place you can start is where you are. So you really want to do that self-assessment to evaluate where you are in life and where you are as it relates to the things that you want to get done. Today I had a meeting with a client and we were talking about creating a whole new program for them. And I thought it was going to be a little bit further out, but she was like, can we do it for this summer? And so we have to really sit down and say, here's where we are. Yes, I said we can do it because we're going to do it. But then I have to really plan it out, put the team in place to help me drive it and make it happen. Help me make it happen. Where do I begin? Well, I truly begin, you begin where you are. But part of that beginning process, asking you what resources do you need to help you begin? So I want you to evaluate that and literally pull back and say, hey, where do I begin? Where do I move forward? Hey, if you're just jumping on, we're talking about the power of planning, as it says in the feed. But right now we're going through several things that will help you with your mindset and your mind shift. Questions you need to ask yourself as you're planning for success in any area. So I just cover a couple of those questions. Hey, what are you passionate about? Where are you at right now? Where do you begin? And the next one is, what's your end game? So you have to clearly know where you're going. You have to clearly know where you're going in order to develop a plan. It's like driving on a trip. Later on this week, I'm going over to Houston. So I know exactly where I'm going. So I really have to bag up and develop, get that GPS, put it together. Used to would take out a map and see where you're going and stop and or maybe even ask for directions. But you must know your end game. What is your end game? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to do and have? What is that end game? And then as you begin to do that, you ask yourself, what can I do by myself? So you want to understand, hey, what do you need help at? Who's your team? What's needed? Because see, oftentimes we try to do too much by ourselves. And so I want to challenge you, if you have a big goal, a big dream, you're going to need a great team. Big goal, big dreams, you're going to need a great team. Can't do it by yourself. And then Why did you choose the goal? See, I always love to say why stands for what helps you. Why did you choose the goal? Why did you choose to make this happen? So if you're looking to make this happen, then why? Why? Not only what is the end game, but why is the end game the end game? As I was sitting down, I was sharing with you today the client, and it's sitting around coaching and training and mentoring youth, and organization is an organization that mentors youth. I work with the executive director around different things. And so when we were talking about developing these trainings, it helped me understand my why. It's who I am. As I mentioned earlier, Howard, helping others win and realize dreams. That's who Howard is. Helping others win and realize dollars. That's who Howard is. And so when I look at it from that standpoint, I'm passionate about those things. I love doing it, but why do I love doing it? And then so now that I understand that, now I'm beginning, as I circle back and started putting the plan in place, even from today, meeting to get things going for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to say, okay, hey, where do we want to be? What's the end game? Now, what obstacles face me? Who are some of the people I need? We're going to video some of these sessions. And so video in these sessions then allow us to, who's going to be my videographer? How are we going to package it? Where we're going to place it, and how would it be used, and how will we develop the curriculum around it? What would the look be? And so all these things are going to be part of the plan that we must put in place as we develop the team to help us make it happen. So those are 7 things I think that will help you as you're planning for success. Those are 7 things that will help you drive forward in this journey called life, excuse me. So I want you to think about those things and ask yourself the things that you desire, the goals that you have set. Have you spent time planning? Have you developed a plan for each of those goals? And that is something I want to challenge you to think about. And we're going to share, I think it's Thursday night, won't be on tomorrow night, but Thursday night, we're going to really dive in deep through one of our planning tools that will help you. So, hey, hit the button that allows you to be alerted when we go live. So that way you can be alerted when we go live. That way you'll know. Just simply hit those dots and say be notified when Howard goes live. But the key thing is that you have to plan. The other thing I want you to do, yes, I want you to do it, is to go over to strategicplanningsummit.com, strategicplanningsummit.com, and you can sign up. And when you sign up, guess what? On Monday, which is Martin Luther King Day, today is his birthday. Today is his birthday, actual birthday, but we recognize it as a country on Monday. And so strategic planning, I truly have to believe, yes, he had a dream, but he really had a plan for what he was going to do and how he was going to accomplish it. And it was a strategic plan, because you think about all the great things that Dr. King did for this world, there had to be a strategic plan in place to make those things happen. So simply go over to strategicplanningsummit.com. You'll see the details. You'll see some of the people that'll be sharing on Monday. Yeah, we're going to be in 3-hour blocks, and a lot of teaching, a whole lot of teaching. I'm going to do a whole session myself, some new stuff that I've been working on, called Forex in Your Year. Putting that plan in place. Hey, Jennifer Cole, good to see you. Hey, that's one of my cousins. She's a designer. Just saw her jump on. Shout out to her. When she went from Mississippi to New York, hey, just so proud of her, and, just love seeing good people do great things. That's right. Good people doing great things. And that's a great example of planning, because she's a designer, a fashion designer. And just imagine, we talked about all those things. Number one, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about it? Where am I at right now? Once upon a time, she was in Mississippi, but now she's in New York, which is arguably the fashion capital of the world. Some people in Paris shall say no different, but she's there. And then where do you begin? You have to begin where you are. And for her, it was a plane ride, a simple plane ride. Um, I say simple, but getting off in New York and making a difference. Go out and follow her, Jennifer Cole. Um, you'll see her designs and everything. So please do that. And then, but what's your end game? I have not talked to Jennifer about her end game, but I know there's some things that she dream of, and so the things that she work on, and being able to design things, full lines for companies, airlines, like she's done, for the attendants, and all that is part of her, that's leading towards her end game, her what she wants out of life, and that's the key part. And then, what couldn't she do by herself? I can only imagine the help she's had, the growth she's had since she's been there in New York, and access to people and that are helping her. And why did she choose this? I do know this. She grew up loving fashion and those kind of things. And so something that's very powerful, as we talked about, passionate. But why did she choose those goals? And it's personal for her, and it should be personal for you. And then, what are those obstacles, which we're all going to have? I call them valleys. In order to get to new peaks, hey, we got to go through new valleys. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Hey, hope this year is off to a running start for you. So whatever it is that you have in your life, please plan it. Please plan it. Thursday, we're going to go through the 2x4 model. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just really share a little bit on the 2x4 model. Take some people, if you want to go through it yourself live, you're willing to jump on with us, and we can help you work on that for your business, for your life. And simply what the 2x4 model is, it really honors my granddad. That's how I'm cousins with Jennifer Cole. Our grandfathers were brothers. So whatever cousins that makes us, grew up in the same church. But with that said, my grandfather was a building contractor. My dad was a building contractor. And in every house, there's this board called a 2x4. That's right. 2 inches wide. So actually it's an inch and a quarter, 3/4. And then whenever you think about it, in a house, a 2x4 is not the biggest board, but it's the most populous. So in goal setting and in planning, it's a quick planning sheet that we use. It's a quick planning sheet we use. If you go over to Have Your Best Week Ever, it's inside the group in the files. But literally, this sheet does this. What is that goal? As Jennifer said, write it down. That's right. Write it down. Write the goal down first. Now, 2 reasons why. 2 who's. And then 2 times 2 equals 4, and 2 what's. Why stands for what helps you. Quick planning method. Who stands for we have others. So who can help you? And then what are 4 things you're going to do in the next 30 days to make this happen? Hey, that's it. So we're going to walk through that. Hey, if you want to be on the hot seat with Howard on Thursday night, around the same time, just simply inbox me. Just raise your hand and say, hey, Howard, I got a challenge I want to work through. Let's see what that looks like. Hot seat with Howard. That's all we call it. Hot seat with Howard on Thursday night. But that is part of the planning process we use. Hey, with that said, once again, I want to remind you to go over to strategicplanningsummit.com. Got some great folks coming on board. Andre Smith, just a super guy to just break things down to the lowest common denominator. Dr. Willie Jolly. Wow. Don't need to say any more there. Well, we probably could drop the mic right there with Dr. Willie Jolly. Then who else? We got Howard Partridge scheduled to come on. Have Edeline Francois Dryden. She's an accountant and businesswoman, does events. She has this unique approach on accounting and so forth. And then I have Byron Riley CPA out of Houston, Texas. He's my accountant, but his background in the car industry and things that he's done, he brings a unique approach to it. Those are just some of the Keisha Williams, who's going to really break down some of the operational side of it and help you stop being a slave to your business. So as you think about that, and Eric Loffman, who's going to help you develop that strategic sales plan, I have a session with him tomorrow to work on my sales plan. So, hey, make sure you go over to strategicplanningsummit.com. Be part of just spend some time that Monday. If you're off from work, great, you got time. Come out in with a empty notepad, leave with a full game plan. And if not, hey, you'll get the replays if you sign up, be able to come back. And so, with that said, hey, we're going to close it out tonight. I want to challenge you, as always, to go out and be the best you possible, because guess what? Everybody else is taken. If you try to be anybody else, you can only be second best. And the view never changes in second place. And with that said, I want to challenge you to jump on board with us on Thursday night. Hey, just remember, hit the button to be notified when Howard goes live, and you can be part of the conversation. But in the meantime, if you want to be on the hot seat with Howard, just simply hit it up and say, hey, Howard, just send me a message or an email, and we look forward to seeing you on the call. Hey, take care. God bless. And I shall see you Thursday. Bye-bye.